Hello and welcome back to 360 Comics. Joe here, and unfortunately we have a very tough topic to tackle today. That is because the comic book community was given some terrible news earlier this week when legendary artist George Pérez publicly announced that he had been diagnosed with cancer. I wanted to make this video as a tribute dedicated to him, so we're going to examine his decades-long career and show off some of his best cover artwork. In addition, I wanted to spread the George Pérez love, so I'm doing a giveaway that is centric just to this video. One of the books that is featured today will be given away. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below. One lucky commenter will receive that book, and stick around to the end of the video to see which book is being given away. Just a few years after retiring from the comic book industry due to other health concerns, Pérez announced this week that he has been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and unfortunately has only been given 6 to 12 months to live. He said he does not want to undergo any chemotherapy or radiation treatment and would rather avoid that sickness and those doctor visits and live life to the fullest while he still can. I wish him and his family the best of luck during this trying time, and I hope his life can be as long and happy as possible. If you would like to donate money to cancer research, I'm going to put a link below to the American Cancer Society, and we can help together fight that issue that has touched all of our lives at some point. Our first Pérez book of the day takes us all the way back to the early years of the Bronze Age, which is also the early years of his career. We've got 1977's Marvel Team-Up number 65, featuring Spider-Man and Captain Britain. Now, this is the only Marvel team-up book that Pérez worked on, and it's also the first American U.S. appearance of Captain Britain. It's got some great cover art here. I love that it's mid-battle sequence. They are balancing up on some steel beams for what looks like a newly constructed, unfinished skyscraper, probably above New York City. Really, really great shot from Spider-Man, from behind Spider-Man, showing off this new character that was being debuted to American readers in full force, right in the center of the cover. There is a second book in this storyline, but Pérez did not do the art for it. But this cover is honestly a lot better than the other one, in my opinion, and it's great stuff coming from the early part of his career. Next up, we've got Fantastic Four number 84, and this features the first appearance of the Eliminator, and displayed right front and center on the cover again is that character. Love to see it, and it might be hard to tell in this picture, but it's got a really great background of this destroyed house. The Eliminator has obviously busted in there and broken everything up, and it's very, very detailed. It's probably hard to see via the screen, but look this book up online, Fantastic Four 184, and check out the background. Really like the attention to detail there, and kind of the desperate and confused look on the faces of the Fantastic Four as they try to deal with this new foe. Capping off the books from the early part of Pérez's career, we have Avengers 172 from 1979, and we've got Hawkeye right on the front. This character obviously has got some serious hype right now due to his own show on Disney+, and he is front and center right here on the cover. And I love this Bronze Age thing that they did where they put a bunch of heads around, kind of showing what other characters are in the book. I think it's a cool way to display those characters and kind of get readers' attention without, having to draw them in detail on the cover, and allowing for these cool, gradient backgrounds that make the characters really pop out. I really like how that goes from this deep orange to yellow and then white at the bottom. And I love, my favorite thing about this is that Hawkeye's bow and arrow overlap the Avengers logo. Great stuff coming out of this part of his career. I don't know about you, But when I think George Pérez, the first thing that comes to mind is the new Teen Titans, the second volume of Teen Titans that came out in the early 80s. He was the one who introduced them in Marvel Comics Presents 26, I think it was. I don't have that book. It's a little bit pricier, but I do have a bunch of books from this run. This is one of my favorite covers that he does the art for, and this is number 24. And my favorite thing about this cover is that we've got two sides. We've got two faces, one on each side. We've got over here Starfire, a character who has been around for a little bit. Readers at this point know and hopefully enjoy the character. And then we've got her sister, Blackfire, on the other side. A very different facial expression from her. Great stuff from this early 80s Teen Titans run, but nothing compared to the next couple books I'm showing. Fast forwarding a couple years to the mid-80s now, they've changed the name from the New Teen Titans to Tales of the Teen Titans. If you know why they did that, I actually have no idea, so leave it in the comments below if you do know. But this book kicks off, in my opinion, the best Teen Titans related run ever, and one of the best runs of all time. It's a 3-issue story arc called The Judas Contract, starting in this issue right here, number 42. I think that this book is written fantastically. I think it artistically is something else. It really stands out, and those combine together to make it, like I said, one of my favorites ever. It actually did win that year. It won Best Story Arc. And this book kicks it off. One of my favorite things about this cover is we've got these 6 segments that are black and white. And they're not, they're very descript in and of their own, but we're not really sure how they link together until we get into the book. And it's got these 2 eyes looming over it. And the cover, it says, the title is The Eyes of Tara Markov, giving us a little foreshadowing into the story. Now, like I said, I've got more than one of these here. I've also got the second book of the run. And watch what happens here. We still have a segmented cover, but interestingly enough, those 6 segments have now been colorized. And they're also displayed differently. Rather than just being 2 rows, this one, a little bit more flashy of a cover. We've got the triangles, and we've got them colorized. Really love what Pérez did, going from one to another. And this is a key issue, I believe. I think this is the first appearance of Jericho, the son of Deathstroke. The next issue in the run, I don't have that one on me right now, but it's another great cover. Not as good as these two, in my opinion, but that one is a big one. It features the first appearance of Dick Grayson as Nightwing, really culminating that run there with a big reveal of a character reborn. And I'm a big Nightwing fan, big Dick Grayson fan, so this run is really, really great. Check it out if you have not yet, and definitely pay attention to that awesome Pérez artwork. Moving on now to the late 80s and moving away from Dick Grayson and on to the third Robin, Tim Drake. He has his first appearance in this issue, but he does not yet appear as Robin. That's a couple issues later. We've got Batman number 436. This is the first of 4 books in the year 3 Batman run. And I love this cover. I love that it's like, we've got mostly black and gray and a little bit of blue and stuff, and then right through the middle we've got this diagonal kind of beam of light that projects onto this flashback of Dick Grayson crying on the ground at the circus. His parents have just died. You can see hanging down. It's a little bit hard to see probably for you guys, but check out this cover. There is a broken trapeze swing there, showing exactly what we're seeing. And we've got, Dick in his Nightwing costume over there as well. Lots of stuff going on in this cover. Great stuff, and awesome introduction to the Robin that really lasted a really long time throughout the late 80s, 90s, and 2000s until Damian was introduced, other than that one stint that Stephanie Brown had. Great stuff here. And like I said, George Pérez puts so much detail into these covers and really makes you kind of wonder what's going on inside. Coincidentally, that last book was the first book of Perez's Batman run, and this book is the last book of his Batman run, also the last book of the A Lonely Place of Dying arc, and this is Batman number 442, another Tim Drake key. This is the first time we see him in the classic Robin costume, first time he appears as Robin, but a lot of people gravitate more to 457 because that's the first time we see him in his Robin costume. So, this one's a minor key. I call the last book this book, and 457 the Tim Drake trifecta, and two of them have some awesome George Pérez art. This one, I've heard people that don't like this. Not sure why. I think it's great. I think it's an awesome action shot. We've got Tim Drake swinging in and the bat symbol behind him. I think it's great. Maybe it's the red along the side that people don't like. I don't know. I don't mind that. I don't mind the title being there. Anyway, great stuff, like I said, and this capped off his Batman run. He was only on it for a while. You can see 436 to 442. So only a handful of issues there, but all of them great cover art and really, developing that character Tim Drake, who would become a really prominent Robin, the first one to have his own solo story, I believe. As well as the Robin who has the really long solo run during the 90s and early 2000s. And speaking of the 90s, we're there now. We've got Infinity Gauntlet number 1. You might have seen this in the beginning of the video. I think this art is fantastic. I almost didn't include this because I recently picked this up in a collection, and I had a video about that collection, so I've already shown this off to you guys, but how can I talk about George Pérez's career without talking about this insane cover featuring Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet? A major, major part of the MCU and, just Marvel in general. Great stuff coming out of the 90s, and this was like kind of towards the end of his career prominence. It's almost like he's semi-retired after the early 90s, because you can see he does less and less books and more just did some like guest spots and things like that. So this really capped off the meat of his career, but he definitely did do some stuff, and we'll see that in the next book. Like I said, even after the early 90s, he still was working in comics, just not as much, even into the 2000s and early 2010s. And one of the books right here, we've got Infinite Crisis number 7, the last book of the run. This was from 2006, so about 15 years ago. Still working, still doing some really awesome cover arts for us. And this is my favorite one in the Infinity Crisis run. Probably hard for you guys to see, so you might want to Google this one afterwards and check it out. But it features so many different characters doing different things, all of them in motion, all of them with tons of expression on their face. And we've got a whole crisis scene going on here. You can see the Daily Planet. It's kind of hard to see, but it says Daily Planet there, like the building has collapsed. And, we've got people fighting all over the place and destruction, and really captivates the closeout of this Infinity Crisis run. Definitely some great stuff. Like I said, his career lasted from the 70s all the way to the 2010s. He was still putting out books. Unfortunately, due to health issues from diabetes, he was I believe losing his eyesight. I think that was the issue. So he decided to hang up his pen, hang up his pencil, and be done with art. But obviously we've got the news this week that he does not have much longer with us. Hopefully, like I said, that's extended and he can live a healthy and fulfilling life. We'll see what happens. Again, American Cancer Society, link below if you would like to donate. And don't forget, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment on it, because I'm going to be giving away one of these books. I didn't want to tell you in the beginning which one it was and give it away, but it is Batman 442. Honestly, out of all these, this is probably my favorite cover art. And I know some people don't like it, but like I said, I think it's the best. So Batman 442, the first appearance of Tim Drake in the classic Robin costume, can be yours. All you got to do, subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment. I'm going to pick a random comment in like a week or two. So, do that. And, send your regards, positive thoughts out to George Pérez and his family. And until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.